name is Crane. I will be the second for the negative side, going against having PAS in California. So there's a couple points that I want to go over first before I begin, because no one kind of touched on these, and there's two, which is when they talk about terminally ill, they forget to add in the disabled people, who some consider under medical conditions that they're considered terminally ill. So one of the points they said that they need 2 doctors and they need certain things in order for them to get prescribed the certain prescription to end their life. But for a disabled person, as stated by procon.org, having 2 doctors or an employee or a health maintenance organizer, to determine an informed consent to do this, they feel intimidated that it's not a safeguard to their actual rights, because sometimes some of them can't sign for themselves, they can't talk for themselves, so a lot of times they feel pressured into doing this, or the caregiver or the 2 doctors feel like it's cheaper on the hospital or whatever costs for the patient. And then also, from an article from Physicians of Compassionate Care Education Foundation, a deputy Oregon State Attorney General stated that Oregon assisted suicide law may discriminate against those who are paralyzed and can't swallow, would lead to lethal injection, which end up leading them into lethal injections because they can't swallow the prescription pills, obviously. And then the doctors in Oregon are unlawfully ordered a lethal injection for the patient, and they may not, this brings up a whole nother issue too of them not being prosecuted for something that's going against the law. And if they do get prosecuted, they get minimum legal action against them. One of them, someone got 2 months suspension of their medical license instead of getting their medical license revoked for disobeying the law. Let's see. And another point that we need to touch on is how costly they say it is to have somebody who is considered terminally ill or disabled. But a lot of times this brings up issues with insurance companies such as the HMO, that they would prefer to have, they would prefer to cut costs by allowing this PAS to be approved in order to cut costs with actually giving them treatment to help their terminally ill, whether it be disabled or cancer, AIDS, what have you. And there's an example from The Atlantic. In 2008, Barbara Ranger sought chemotherapy for late-stage cancer. The Oregon Health Plan Office refused to authorize the $4,000 a month treatment because it was not approved for her condition, but list among the services it would pay for were prescription drugs to end her life. She stated that to someone like her, she stated that someone will be paid to die but not paid to have me live longer. To her, it made no sense. Also, you have, also with HMOs, they have a $1,000 cap on home care for terminally ill patients. And so they believe that with this, from procom.org, Dr. Gregory Hamilton believes that with this cap of $1,000 for home care for terminally ill people, it will weaken vulnerable and have people be kind of forced into this PAS. And then you also have and then you go into where the doctors feel pressured by the HMOs, insurance companies, to use PAS in order to lessen the cost for them too, where in a sense that, as Wisconsin Right of Life stated, that doctors could find their end-of-life options curtailed by third-party players or offered economic incentives to allowing a suicide. And then you have also and I'm gonna read it a little bit more back on the disabled, because I feel that they kind of get the short stick of a lot of what the PAS is about. And a lot of times, medical professions, as stated by Center of Disability Acts on their website, it stated that most medical professions are prone to seeing people with disabilities as a burden to themselves and others, and well as an economic burden on medical resources. So, a lot of times these people who are disabled, they don't have a say in a lot of this. Terminally ill people, a lot of them do, but disabled people are the ones that don't, and that's where a lot of the problems lie for disabled, for the PAS.